Hi there, and thanks for joining me. Oh, just as a lovely load of goldfinches fly over. We're at RSPB Frampton Marsh today. Now, it's not actually been the best time to come to Frampton Marsh because of how warm it's been this year. You can see that it's quite dried up behind me, but there is plenty here to go at still. So we've come here, and to be honest, it's a little bit of a forced trip in a way because I've not actually come here for a day out with the camera, but I have tied it with that in mind, just because I've actually come up this way to Lincolnshire for a load of ringing gear. I do bird ringing on the side as a hobby and for conservation reasons, and basically I need a load of gear and there's a job lot, and normally it's few and far between. Oh, goldfinch has just landed on that tree behind. Few and far between to getting bits of kit, because it's a bit of a dying art I suppose maybe. So yeah, I've tied it with Frampton Marsh, and it is an RSPB reserve, so if you all remember, you've obviously got free parking and things like that, but there's salt marshes, reed beds, and there's actually a little bit of kind of a wash and coastline. So we are on the east coast of England, so there are obviously a lot of waders coming through at this time of year as well on migration, and a lot of other birds on migration. So it'd be very interesting to see what we might see or what we might not see. So thanks for joining me, and yeah, let's get into the video. Oh my days, what about that then? So you can probably hear all around me the sound of goldfinches. So by the entrance of the site of Frampton Marsh, there's some hawthorn hedges here that the goldfinches love just sitting in. And you can see behind me all the heads of the sunflowers are moving. Obviously these sunflowers have died off. There's house sparrows, great tits, greenfinches, blue tits, but mainly goldfinches are coming to feed on these sunflower heads, which is an absolute great addition. And these sunflowers go all the way down as far as I can see, which is obviously a huge benefit to the finches in the area, which is clearly it's bringing them in. And you've got some more natural stuff like alder trees down here, which have obviously got the seeds starting to come into effect now we're in the autumn. So yeah, just a great food source for them here. So I've hung around and just tried to get a few shots, and they're very wary, so they're deep in the foliage, especially these hawthorn, and they are very thick, but because the leaves are starting to come off the trees, I am getting moments where I can get a shot through some branches, and I kind of do love those shots where you can just see the head of the goldfinch and you can just get focus manually and just get that nice sharp little shot of just the head, and it's covered in foliage and you just know it's in the middle of a bush, which is really cool. So I'm going to stick around here, see if I can get some footage of some birds on the heads, which I think would be a nice aesthetic bit of video that I've not got before, and yeah, and then we'll move on down to the main part of the reserve. after walking down the track from the actual visitor centre where I've just seen the goldfinches and a few other birds, I've just seen a group of goldfinches sitting on top of a shrub that's got some lovely autumn colouring actually in it as well, with some yellows, and absolute massive group of them. And then all of a sudden, straight away, they scarpered out of there, and something really dark and falcon-like flew over, and it was like a dark brown. It wasn't a grey, a slate grey like a peregrine. It was like a dark brown. I'm unsure what it was actually. It could have been a peregrine, because this is typical peregrine kind of landscape. It's actually a bird flying over there. So I'm not sure exactly what it was, but they all scarpered, and yeah, so a little bit of excitement already, to be honest. Oh, there's a lovely, before we go down, there's a lovely whooper swan here. Or it could be a Bewick, so I'm not sure. I'll probably stick a label on once I've ID'd it, because they can be quite tricky. Just see it feeding there behind me, so we'll get some shots, because you don't often get these birds in this close proximity, to be honest. Slimbridge is probably the best place that I've known, but we'll hopefully it lifts its head up a few times. We can get some nice shots.
Getting a closer look at this bird, and you can see on the bill it's got a little bit more black than there is yellow, although Bewicks tend to have a little bit more black than this, but whooper swans have a different shape bill. It's a little bit more pointed and thinner towards the end, and it's also got a narrower head, where this Bewicks has got a more rounded head with a stubbier neck, which you can really see from this side view and the comparison between the two images there.
So after actually looking at that swan in a little bit more detail, obviously down through the lens, it looks like there's a lot more, it's more 50-50 with the black and the yellow, so it looks like a Bewicks to me, which surprisingly, there's only about 4,500 Bewicks that winter in the UK compared to 20,000 whooper swans, which is quite strange really. I always thought it was the other way around. I've always seen more Bewicks about, so maybe that's just my kind of luck maybe, and I didn't know it, but yeah, an absolute cracking swan. And it's weird how the Bewicks are declining each year, but the whoopers are actually going up each year in terms of wintering numbers in the UK, so yeah, it's a strange one. But an interesting fact is you can actually ID them by the markings on the bill, and that all comes from Slimbridge. I mean, I've been here 5 minutes and I'm giving you tips, but I've just seen a lovely little water rail get chased out of there by what I assume is a little grebe I've just seen pop up, because they can be quite aggressive. And it's just scampered towards me while I was walking back this way, because it had been calling in the reeds right here, right by the fence as you walk down, before you actually get to the actual bank. And a lovely water rail, looked like a juvenile to me, because it wasn't quite, it was quite dark in areas. But yeah, a lovely bird to see, and actually that's my first water rail I've actually seen in the open, so for me that's a lifer, which seems like a strange one, because there's quite a few water rails about, but it's just a very secretive bird, so you don't always see them, but it's a good time to see them when the reeds are slowly dying off or they're falling over. They've got limited areas where they can actually hang out, so it just means that you can predict where they're going to be a little bit more. But when it was calling like that, I just thought I'd hang around the area, and I'm glad I did, but I wish I'd have actually stayed in this area, because I was actually photographing a reed bunting. It looked like a juvenile male on a reed, and it's going to be quite a good image, hopefully. And I'll probably see if I can do a bit more. But yeah, this water rail just ran out, so I think I've missed the opportunity to get a photo, but it's in this bit of reeds here, so at least I know where it is. And it's a very limited set of reeds, but it is quite dense, so you see the reed buntings just dropping in. So while we've missed the water rail, or I've missed showing it, yeah, I'm going to go for more reed buntings and see if we can get some video and some nice photos on the reeds, because there's always birds sitting on the reeds is always a fantastic image. So yeah, lovely little moment. Sadly, I couldn't get it on camera for you.
So after spending time with the reed buntings, getting plenty of images, I moved on to the salt marsh area, called Seabank Viewpoint, and there wasn't much about. A few Brent geese flying in, little egret hunting in the shallows, and a small group of teal feeding away in the overflowing fields. A distant view of a curlew.
It's amazing when you get on the top of the bank when you come to Frampton Marsh. When the tide's up, you can just see those salt plains. So many birds flying over all the time. There's not actually that many waders knocking about, but look how vast this expanse is of water. So it's no wonder there's not waders all just sitting here for us to see. There's so much area out there for them to go and find the best bits, if you like, and obviously they get confidence in, if they see a group, they'll come down with a group, so they're not going to come to a spot generally where they're on their own and a bit exposed, especially when you've got people walking right alongside. So I just love the sounds at Frampton Marsh. Right on cue. You get these lovely sounds from wildfowl and waders and loads of different birds, and it's just a bit of a crescendo of sounds in a time of year that you don't get a lot of bird song. Obviously we've now finished breeding season, so yeah, it's a time of year that, you know, wildfowl and waders are the primary source for photographers and birders. So I'll be heading to Slimbridge, Martinmere maybe throughout the winter and places like that to get my birding fix, as it were. So yeah, we're going to leave the video there anyway. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this little walk around Frampton Marsh. It's not been the most fruitful video, but ultimately it was just a nice little video for me to get back out with the camera, as it's been quite a few weeks now since I have been out with the camera. I went to Portugal ringing, did a little bit of photography, but it was predominantly a ringing and conservation effort, if you like. So yeah, it's just nice to get back out with the camera, and I feel like I've got some real good, decent shots, to be fair. So just keeping my hand in, really, and obviously doing a bit of video today as well, which has been nice, especially when the light's not perfect. You've got to just pick a setting, really, or you can only video or photograph at any one time, so you've got to make those decisions as and when things are happening. And nature does look better when you're watching it do its thing, doesn't it? A still is great and can be absolutely fantastic, and it can paint 1,000 words, but video is just great to watch, isn't it? Especially these fast small birds. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video, and give us a like and a subscribe, and yeah, hopefully I'll catch you on the next one, and yeah, wherever that might be. I haven't really got much of a plan, but yeah, I'm sure it'll be a good one anyway. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you till next time. Thank you.